Hello and welcome to the Rainbow Six Pro League, the #1 spot for competitive Rainbow Six esports on the Xbox One. I am your host, as always, Jonathan, Johnny Streams, Ross. Today, this is a Week 3 stream, but a Week 1 makeup game. Team Sacred and Intoxicated will be going head-to-head. Both teams joining in Week 2, so they will make up what should have been a Week 1 match. Both teams appear to be ready. So we are going to get right into this Week 1 makeup. Again, Team Sacred versus Intoxicated. I believe Intoxicated's Era Day is a new pickup, a fairly recent pickup, I should say, as a substitute player. Yeah, he is. So we'll see what kind of goes on, if he fits into the roster well with Intoxicated or not. And Team Sacred actually making some roster moves of their own, though not on there yet. Though not in the game today, I should say, is Tobionics being picked up from Talon Esports. First ban is going to be a Thatcher, as we are going to Clubhouse. Thatcher, that's a ban. All right, Blitz that's a more normal ban coming out from Team Sacred. There's got to be something very specific that Intoxicated is wanting to do with that Thatcher ban. It's a very odd ban. I don't know what to think about that. Thatcher doesn't get banned a whole lot. Visual's going to be banned from Team Sacred, so trying to eliminate the Rush and the Heavy Roam with their bans. We'll see what Intoxicated does with their defensive ban. And ban Clash. I don't think we've seen... I think we've seen Clash played once so far in Pro League. I think she's been banned every single week. So, moving on to the Week 1 makeup game here in our first stream of Week 3. Going down to the basement, and Mira allowed to play. Finally. I think she's been played like once or maybe twice before so far this season. We're going to see her on the Church Armory site. So, I'm still trying to figure out where this Thatcher ban's going to come into place. We're actually going to 6-pick off of the Mira onto a smoke. So, I mean, maybe just noticing that there's the lack of an effective shotgun, and with, well, you got Lesion's 2 impact nades. Lacking an effective shotgun for site setup potentially. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play a Mira. Maybe trying to bait a 6-pick from Team Sacred. We'll find out. We'll find out what their strategy is. Yeah, Vintage Knight doing some renovating on the wall there. That could have very well been the main decider behind the switch from a Mira to a smoke. Site setup going underway, and this basement site generally favors heavy site teams. That's why everyone bans this when they play against Quacked. Because Quacked, very, very good with their site setups, and they're just straight up site holds. They didn't reinforce dirt. Uh-oh. So that generally prompts why no one wants to play Quacked. Curious, he is going to come back downstairs. We'll see if the attackers notice that dirt is open. They do. Surge is going to be allowed to pop that right open. And the attackers will start to drone their way into dirt and attack from various places. Juicy's has moved his way up into Cold Room. He's going to hear the Sledge. Sledge is not going to see him. Juicy's will take out one. This is a good roam game already from Juicy's. The drone of Diabolito will find him. And rotating back down to site is Juicy's. Death also there on the drone support. They do get the hatch popped, however, as Omens starts his assault on the closet. Still some drones coming out, making sure that the Jaeger does not come back up those steps, do any more harm. Losing the Sledge gets rid of 2 frag grenades, which with the Jaeger ADSs weren't likely to have a super significant impact, and with some very good hidden Jaeger, or some very good hidden ADS spots. Still losing those frags is losing potential kills. The attacker's not going for dirt. Seemingly, they're very indecisive about where they want to go. They're finally going to make some moves towards the bar. Going to pop some hatches there. Looks like they're just going to go for a basic hatch drop. I'm praying that Omens just goes. They will find the Valkyrie cam inside of the kitchen. Finally, Omens doing a little dance. Not really sure where he wants to go. It seems to be everything the attackers have for right now is they just don't really seem to know where they want to go. Omens is going to rip some pre-fire shots through the long hallway into that doorway. Twitch still outside the Hibana, I believe. Upstairs, yeah, close to the hatch drop. We'll see. She tries to get a play into church. Reeks moving his way up towards the hatch. He's getting spotted by a Valk cam. Doesn't quite know where it is. He's got someone playing inside of blue. Whether he knows it or not, as Vintage will take out Omen. Peeking that moto to church doorway a little bit too far. A nice shot by Vintage onto death. And Juicy's will take out Reeks, and Erade will finish off Diabolito. That is a perfect round for Intoxicated Esports. And the attackers, after they lost that sledge, they were very uncoordinated, just didn't really know what to do. They kind of froze up there. So the win on the basement for Intoxicated will allow them to go up to the CCTV cache site. Hopefully they stick the Mira this time, as Mira is very, very effective on the site. Juicy's will bring himself out an Echo, and they're going to bring a sledge and a buck along, it looks like. Well, an Ash and a buck. They're going to double down on the soft destruction this time. The fact that nobody pushed dirt as well is a mystery to me, because when a defensive team doesn't reinforce dirt, you use dirt to put a lot of pressure onto the team, onto the defenders, and use that opened hatch to kind of pinch out anyone who's in that locker's sight. They're going to switch from a buck onto a Maverick, actually. Diabolito. And that pinching from dirt, and especially when you've opened blue hatch and the kitchen hatch, that generally puts you in a pretty good position as an attacking team, but just not taking full advantage of the positions that they were given were Team Sacred. Intoxicated taking that first round. We'll see what kind of defense, what kind of castle plays they have for this top floor. They're going to reinforce off garage completely. I guess that kind of makes sense. There's no real necessity for a whole lot of reinforcements on the top floor. He's going to castle off windows. Vintage is going to be playing that staircase Mira. It's like Herdeo waiting for a call from his teammates where to put these castle barricades. So it's going to be a heavy garage hold. It's Curious and affiliates. I'm still just going to call them affiliates. Are playing down there. Death is droning it out right now, as Omens is going to go to try and hit this wall. They're going to bring along a Maverick for the sole reason of taking out these mute charges, as the touch drone is unable to make it. They will confirm that the mute has some stuff behind there, and it looks like he took it out with the breaching torch. Thermite's going to be able to open up that wall. Whole team repositioning now. They're going to focus their attack onto this subroof. Maybe a little bit of split pressure from the windows. Vintage will lose a Mira, so if they can get an effective construction push going, Team Sacred's got a distinct advantage. On drones for right now, holding the angles. are the defenders. Kind of backing off for now. Both mirrors are taken out. Surge is going to hop into construction. If Team Sacred, they need to get a good construction push going. None of the defenders are in a good position to flank. Two of them playing garage and the rest on site. Araday just being missed. I believe that was the thermite. Just a lot of drone work, a minute left, and not a whole lot of progress has been made past opening up the subroof wall. Diabolito's just going to rush in, actually. He's going to see one. He'll miss a couple shots. Peeking him is the Mute. The Mute will finish him off. That was curious. 4v5. The Ash is going to lose a lot of health rushing in. However, Surge will take out Curious. He will face two in Garage. Juicy's taking out Death. Araday taking out Surge. Down to the Thermite and the Twitch. Reeks, Insight, Omens off. Araday will finish him off. All down to the Twitch of Reeks. He will take out one in the Garage. He doesn't know that there's a second one there. Pushing, not seeing. Oh, that's in the hallway. He's got two people behind him and the Echo laying down. Trying to find him from the Mira.
15 seconds remaining.
Reeks, not a whole lot of time left. He's going to have to make a move. Moving in front of that Mira will allow Vintage to play that Mira backwards and take out Reeks. A good retake there by the defenders as the attackers attempted to shove their faces through the subroof wall. And that's where you really need that multi-pronged attack. Instead of having 3 of your 5 attackers running through the same wall, maybe have the Ash come from construction and hold angles. Maybe have someone try and come from those backside stairs from near the blue closet, and then have someone contest garage, and then have 2 people rush in and just get a much more effective pinch than throw everyone through the same doorway and hope we get the frags. The defenders have the advantage in that situation every single time, and good on them for locking it down, winning their second straight round. So they will go to the gym master bedroom site. They're going to bring along a castle and a Mute once again. We're going to switch up the operator roles, however. Mirror being brought along by affiliates this time. Not a super different lineup coming out from Team Sacred.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So Gym formerly was the number 2 site. With the introduction of the cache CCTV in one of the more recent patches, it became the tertiary site. However, still not a terrible site to go. And yep, affiliates playing this well. You really have to hold this back hallway right here. It is instrumental in a push onto the B-bomb if you're going for a plant there. But if they're going for a plant into the master bedroom, you have to hold construction. So just the way that you have to split your attention there, and the
5 seconds to insert.
just the great quantity, I'll say, of angles that the attackers can get on you from the balconies, from this wall, if and when they likely open it. Although that, with the ban of a Thatcher, here's the ban where the ban of a Thatcher comes in. Vintage is going to prep that castle barricade, but unless, well, with the ADS there, they're going to have to burn the ADS, then throw a frag through and destroy that deployable shield. Then they're going to have to send the Twitch drone through, pray that she doesn't get shot, and take out that Mute Jammer. That is going to be a very tough push. And yeah, Omens is going to encounter this Mute charge. And I mean, if I'm Team Sacred, I'm just going to, once I realize this, I'm just going to rip off everything that I thought was going to be able to happen. And yeah, I mean, it's that deployable shield is still there. Reek Sophia charge doing nothing. See, yeah, if I'm Team Sacred, I just go for construction. There's no way they're going to get this wall open, and that's what they seem to be doing. They're going to leave a thermite charge and a claymore there, though. Omens
Bomb located by attackers.
still not happening. He's going to have to go pick up that thermite charge. A good play there by the defenders. And a Thatcher ban that I thought wouldn't come into handy really coming into handy for the defenders. Still a little bit of late site setup already halfway through the round. The attackers looks like they're just going to try and play balconies as Omens will finally rip this original thermite charge off of the wall. Looks like they're going to try and go for a construction push with some balcony support. But we'll see how that goes, as you still have a defender in Curious playing inside of the logistics office. I believe that wall is reinforced, but ready to get a late flank onto the attackers. The Sledge losing some health. That was surged. Watching for any potential flanks as Omens will open up the wall. He's got one use for a thermite charge. Could pop open logistics office potentially. They're just going to try and play some angles, are the attackers. Dispensing some utility. Rakes has moved his way inside the B bomb site. He just hopped in the window while the defenders weren't looking. The Mira with a nice shot by Affiliates, able to take him out. Maybe a little bit too aggressive of a play from the Zofia, trying to secure a kill. Omens, with 30 seconds left, will take out Vintage. Some Candelas being used. The Twitch taking some damage. Death will back off. And Arade, using the shoddy Supernova, will take out Diabolito. Curious will take out Surge as he tries to drop into logistics, down to Death and Omens. Trying to shove their faces in through construction. It will not happen. Death accidentally downed Omens, actually, and will be credited with a team kill as Juicies will finish off Death. So, very good plays by the defenders. They obviously had planned out the Thatcher ban, and it worked out incredibly for that gym take, paired with just a late rotate from the attackers. As soon as they realized that they weren't going to get through from that side at about the 230, 220 mark, they should have ripped that thermite charge off the wall and instantly rotated all of their attackers over to construction and try to get a more effective push in the logistics office, as opposed to just having one guy drop down hatch and pray he doesn't get headshotted by the mute that is actively staring at where his head is going to be, and get some balcony support that doesn't involve the Zofia kind of running in and getting killed. She did a good job of getting herself into sight. However, she kind of trapped herself in that corner, and there's not a whole lot she could do about that, but she also could have not put herself in that position in the first place. Maybe rotated the diffuser over to Zofia, made all four push from that construction site or the logistics office, and then thrown the Zofia deep into the B gym bomb site. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, but these are all things that Team Sacred just didn't really think of. The late rotate just ensured that they likely weren't going to be able to have time to think of much of that. So 3-0 in favor of Intoxicated Esports in this Week 1 makeup game. And both teams joined Week 2. The two teams that dropped were scheduled to play Week 1. They are going to reinforce Dirt this time. There you go. Although it wasn't taken advantage of at all last time. However, bringing along a Thermite to what they likely know will be a downstairs attack could be a little bit of a change of heart. Omens will spawn very far away from there, but we'll see what kind of attack Team Sacred has planned for us. Diabolito using the horrible Bearing 9, getting spawn peeked by Juicies. Juicies from that stock room door. Not enough drone work from Team Sacred, losing the Hibana. So that means they will have no dirt presence unless Omens, yeah, he is going to use one thermite charge on this dirt tunnel. He's going to have to, they're going to have to decide which hatch they want to drop more, the kitchen hatch or the moto hatch, because they only have one thermite charge left. Going from 2 walls and 3 hatches to a wall and a hatch is not a great start for the attackers. Here's a good angle from Curious, looking up through Arsenal into Cold, making sure that any potential push onto that kitchen hatch may be by the thermite, as he will drone right over top of that hole. He will find it, though, so he likely will not be duped by Curious's tricks. We'll see how that plays out, however. The attackers still with a lot of drone work. Surge actually bringing along breaching charges, opening up a nice angle into the main hallway. We'll do some work on the barbed wire. The attacker is still trying to set up. There's a good Valk cam spotted out by Omens. And Curious will figure out, hey, I lost one. However, the Twitch's position will be called out. He's got two. He's got two Valk cams in the kitchen. Curious and Omens so close to finding each other. Curious will see the Thermite and take him out. Good read there by Curious, knowing the Thermite was going to go for that hatch. So there's no hope of playing this vertically for the attackers. And when you can't play this site vertically, there's not a whole lot else you can do. They will be able to pop open the blue hatch. However, with the kitchen hatch still alive, the church hatch still alive, and the bar hatch still alive for the defenders, this is going to be a rough push. One Thermite charge goes off, and one Echo drone spotted and taken out. Reeks waiting for a flank. Araday with a nice shot onto the main stairs as he will be blasted away at by the Zofia. Reeks with a nice angle, making this a 2v4. 25 seconds left. Surge is going to maybe try for a push from dirt. He's got to make a decision. He is going to push from dirt. Reeks still waiting on a potential flank from the defenders. Nothing doing. Defenders have diffuser down, so they're going to have to play this for kills. Reeks is going to run down the main stairs. He will likely be taken out by this. Ooh, the Valkyrie. Actually, he will take out the Valkyrie. Juicy's being ripped into by the Twitch. Zofia losing a lot of his health. That is Reeks. However, not enough time. Surge will secure a kill on the Juicy's, evening that out to a 2v2. But nothing doing for Team Sacred. Just too late of a play. Thrown into action by Team Sacred. Intoxicated will take their 4th straight round. They will be going back up to CCTV cash. So, while this is Clubhouse has become at least a more defensive heavy map, it's generally a 3-2, 2-3 even sometimes. Occasionally a 1-4 either way. But this has been a pretty destructive 1-4. That round was locked out for Intoxicated. Even when they started losing team members, they knew it was way too late. The attackers had just picked up the diffuser at, I think, like 5 seconds left. They knew they were going to win that round. The first round, a perfect round for the defenders. They knew they were going to win that round. While the original attack onto the CCTV cache, the defenders could tell they were going to win this round as just bodies and bodies were thrown against the subroof wall. The defenders knew, we've got this round locked out. This has been a destruction of every attempted attack from Team Sacred by Intoxicated, playing this very, very well. They obviously have their strats set up extremely particularly. Ooh, that's a tough one. And they're going to stick with it. They're going to have the same basic setup, holding the garage heavily, putting some mute jammers there, making sure that the garage isn't too heavily contested. Locking out the garage allows them to play a Mira. They're going to play a Mira inside of the garage instead of on the main stairs. Ooh. So this is obviously directly countering the heavy wall push, and bringing along a Monty will likely indicate another heavy wall push, this time with hopefully slightly more coordination. As they are going to contest the garage, is Team Sacred, and no one's playing inside a garage. All 5 attackers still on the north side of the map. This is an opportunity for Team Sacred to take garage quickly. They're going to rotate, however, 2 people in. We'll see if the Monty will find the castle, and the castle losing a bunch of his health, actually. I believe that was the Blackbeard. Reeks is going to try and push his way into blue, take out these mute charges from below. Diablito, he's going to call out that there are 2 playing in garage. 1 Mira will be lost. And that is the garage Mira, so this is being played much better. And Diablito, I don't know how he didn't kill that Mira. However, taking out the mute charge from below was the IQ, and Surge allowed to open up the eastern subroof. This is a much better attack so far from Team Sacred. They know that they've got one playing on the stairs, and with no Mira there, a construction push would be very effective. However, they are also very well set up for this subroof take. So opening yourself to two different good options that you have right now from Team Sacred is a very good situation for them. They've got a minute 18 left, and moving into sight already is Death. A Nitro Cell will come out. That is Vintage Knight playing the Mira still effectively. Having Diabolito not being the one originally to go in and Turtle Plant. We'll see what kind of plant coverage there is, as Diabolito is going to get the call that the Echo is pushing a double kill from Omens, covering his Monty from that Mira. Gets the Monty downed, but not out. Juicy's with a nice retake on to the garage. Surged and Omens are left as Affiliates finishes off the Monty. Omens will take out 3. That's a nice headshot onto Affiliates. He's going to move up into the bomb site, pre-firing the door. He knows he's got a Mira to deal with. He's got Surge there for support as well. He will down the Mira, actually. Firing through the wall. Omens with a 4K, carrying his team. What a play there as Surge getting the final kill onto the castle. What a play there from Omens, being in the right position at the right time, helping his team lock out their first round. And now they get to go to defense, and they get to choose how their sights are set up, and the pace of these next few rounds. So 4-1 in favor of Intoxicated. However, that last round for Team Sacred was incredible. They played it very, very well. With the exception of sending the Zofia in originally as opposed to sending the Monty into Turtle Plant, maybe not getting the Zofia blown up by a Nitro Cell. It's generally not the best. With the exception of that one little slip-up, that was an impeccable attack. They droned out the bottom, realized that there was no one playing downstairs. IQ was easily able to walk into the stockroom, take out the mute jammer from below. That allowed Thermite to open up the garage, the subroof wall, as opposed to this time just shoving 3 people through that wall. They pushed a Monty in through the garage. They took the garage. They droned out the garage, realized, hey, there's no one playing in there. We need to get in there now. They had 3 people punching a castle barricade, getting it open as fast as they possibly could. With that fast take of garage with the Diabolito on the Monty, allowing his teammates of Omens, and I believe it was Surge moving in there with them. That allowed a take of garage, and in that process, while not super significant, at the time at least, they dropped the Mira low. That was very significant, as it just took a couple shots from Omens, a good pre-fire next to a soft Mira to down the Mira in the final 2v2. So very well played there by Team Sacred. We'll see what kind of defensive strategy they are going to pull out here. Down 4-1, they're going to need some sort of defensive strategy. They have reinforced dirt. Okay, we're not making that mistake. As Death will put a castle barricade onto dirt, however, losing a Mira already. Twitch will lose one of her drones, however. Juicy's with only 1 left. However, taking out that Mira is effective, and Diabolito actually will be forced to rotate inside of Blue. Make sure that Blue really doesn't get taken. Losing that Mira is going to make this a little bit rougher. Diabolito maybe not seeing that drone. All right. As Surge has a nice angle onto Vintage or Araday. Araday is actually going to be the first one to push. He's going to try and buck open this entire kitchen floor, and the defender's already in, ready to play angles. Vintage, he will be allowed to take out. Ooh, Surge, what a good play. Taking out 1 thermite charge, and he still has an impact grenade left. Vintage is going to try to play this, but it's impossible to see that smoke if the smoke positions himself correctly. Another thermite charge is going to be going down. A frag grenade will take out some of Surge's health, but he is going to be able to get all he isn't. All right, well, and Surge will fall as Juicy's pushes into Blue. The Jaeger swapped out. Nothing doing there. Juicy's is going to take out Death as well. Diabolito is going to be the next one to see him. Actually, sorry, that will be the Mira. Pre-firing some shots, and Omens will finish him off. Our Vintage Knight Diablito, actually, will take out Affiliates as well, but attacking, or dropping, are the attackers. Curious from the main hall will take out Reeks. Vintage and Araday both in sight. An attempted frag grenade from Araday will get zapped by Jaeger ADS. Diablito and Omens keeping the dream alive for Team Sacred. The diffuser will go down. Vintage's location is found out, and he is very stunned. Araday will be able to finish him off. 1v3 Omens. The final hope for his team being pushed from two different angles. He's got to choose which one to push, which one to look at. He would just barely get a headshot onto Araday. Half the diffuser gone. Omens. He's very, very pinched. He's going to have to make a move, though. Not seeing anyone as playing just inside, and I believe that will just be too late. He's going to have to secure. He's going to see the thermite, sorry, through the wall. However, yes, that will be too little, too late. A good effort there as some shots rattle off towards the Zofia. Good effort by Team Sacred. However, just a little bit better of an attack by Intoxicated Esports. And I don't know why that second thermite charge didn't drop. That was... I really expected the smoke to be able to take out that second thermite charge. That really turned the round in the favor of the attackers. I don't know. I don't know why that didn't pop. It may have been just a second too late, but regardless, that round will go into Intoxicated Esports despite a very, very good effort by Omens on the by Surged on the smoke. So bringing a much different lineup to the top floor. They're going to bring a Valkyrie. They will stick with the Mira and a Mute as well, the Jaeger, but bringing a Maestro along. Now, this is an interesting choice. Maestro generally not the most effective on the CCTV room, but we'll see how he's played, as there's not a whole lot of spots. Once the site is compromised and Maestro becomes effective in denying the plant, that upstairs site is compromised, you generally lose both rooms at once, or you don't lose them at all. Obviously, if Deaths plays way behind or way back into cash and everyone on his team is dead and they take B, then sure, his Maestro camps become effective, but if everyone on your team is dead, probably shouldn't be on Maestro camps because you're probably getting pushed. So we'll see what kind of Maestro plays will come out from Death, and if he is used to his full effectiveness. As Team Sacred, despite a very, very valiant effort on defense, will have to win out to send this to overtime. This is good Maestro cam coverage, but I don't really know if it will be super effective. We'll have to see where he plays as well. That will make... Oh, Juicy's left his Twitch drone on the stairs! They already lost a Twitch drone. Juicy's down to 1, and both mirrors still alive. So that will be Juicy's kind of hitting himself in the head right there. It's like, I should have, and he'll get his other drone jammed. So so no more Twitch drones, unless that jammer is taken out. Pre-firing there is Reeks. He will take out about half of the Mavericks coming out. The profanities and the giant hole coming out from the thermite. A bad nitro cell there, and 2 nitro cells being expended. They do have 1 left on Omens, but 2 nitro cells being expended on only potential kills. As Curious, it's a good kill onto Surged, peeking the garage. Affiliates has good angles here. Araday taking out Reeks from the central subroof window. Main balcony. Diablito will refrag onto Juicy's. Juicy's trying to push his way into garage, so Twitch will be of no use, and both mirrors will stay up unless popped manually. Affiliates will take out Diablito. Omens taking out Araday, so 2v3 back and forth are these two teams. Araday or Omens and Death. The 2 remaining Sacred attackers. Or defenders. Jeez. Capital bolt's coming out. So potential plant. Vintage is just going to stick his little cheeks in. And the Mirror still has a nitro cell. Although she's waiting for a run out. She's waiting for the plant to go down to run out. And the Maestro Cam will come into effect. However, too little, too late. The Mirror is going to rotate inside. And it will be rough to know, for the attackers to know, where exactly she is. She's found out over by the Zofia, giving away her position. Affiliates watching her run out. However, none coming from Omen or Death. They've got a good crossfire under this defuse. However, with a drone on it, all it takes is a simple rappel up from the Capital. As Death. Omens is going to try and peek this. As Death will go for the defuse. Omens just trying to counter as he will see the thermite. Omens will refrag onto Vintage. However, not enough time left. Affiliates finishing off the kill onto Omens. Team Sacred will fall by a 6-1 scoreline to Intoxicated Esports. Good game to both teams. Very well played. The scoreboard doesn't quite indicate how close those rounds were, as the last attacking round from Team Sacred and both defending rounds were very, very close. However, Intoxicated Esports, with 4 straight wins on defense, will lock this one out. Thank you so much to the Salty Gamers for sponsoring this season of the Rainbow Six Pro League on Xbox. Appreciate your sponsorship very much. Go give them a follow on the Instagram. We have that in the info page. If you are watching on Twitch, hey, go check out our YouTube channel. You can rewatch VODs of old streams that you've missed. And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, go check out our Twitch. Ring that little notification bell, and you will be notified every time when we are live. Although we do have our schedule up on the website. That is Monday at 9, Wednesday at 9, and Friday at 10 p.m. All those times are Eastern Standard. Thank you all so much for joining us on this Week 1 makeup. And once again, Intoxicated taking home a 6-1 victory over Team Sacred. We will be back on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for another Week 3 matchup. This one, I believe, is an actual Week 3 matchup, technically. So we will see you guys then. Again, thank you to all our viewers. Thank you to the Salty Gamers Live. And we will see you guys on Wednesday.